Hi, friends. Welcome to one of our sessions for the Virtual Power of Her Summit. I am Haley, your host, and today I have my friend Chrissy, and we're going to talk a little bit about her journey and everything that she's done. She's a total badass and is also a mom and basically gave birth to my little bestie. So, um, that is the intro I am giving you. So, why don't you introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, ladies. I'm Chrissy. I'm a marketing director. I work in the consumer goods industry, also a registered dietitian by trade and education, and a mom. Learning every day about how to do life in general. And Haley is right by my side for everything. And just learning that progress beats perfection, which is the topic of today and the conversation that we're gonna have, because I think a lot of you can relate of just, trying to get everything right and trying to do all the things, and that takes a mental toll on us as we're going through this journey called life. So
It really does. And it's so funny you say that because, like, literally had that conversation with my boss today where it was like progress over perfection. He was like, it doesn't need to be perfect yet. Please don't try to make it perfect by this deadline. He's like, it's progress over perfection. And I think that that's something that especially women struggle with more so than men, probably, not to be like sexist or anything. But I really think that that's part of it because, like, we are expected to do it all. I mean, we're expected to run the house and have traditional roles and also have income and do career stuff. And it's like, that's a lot, you know?
yeah.
Um, and you're someone who does it all. Like, you're high up there in your career, and your mom to the cutest little boy ever. And you still do all the stuff. You still travel and you still have your side hustles. Like, I'm so impressed. How do you balance that all?
I think, when you see things like social media or like hear about what people are doing, like it's a highlight reel, right? Like nobody has it all together. And I'm the same way. I'm just a human being like everyone else. Like I have bad days, I have good days. And it's like just balance is such a myth, right? On the outside, I think we see other people and we're like, oh my gosh, like they get to go to this cool country, or they have this new job that's like my dream job, like they find time to work out and spend time with their kids. But there's always compromises that you make, especially as like women, where we need to ask for help, we need to let go of things when they're like 80% there sometimes before getting it to perfection and just getting it out the finish line, right? Like having something be done is better than like never doing it at all. And I think honestly, kudos to you for jumping right into the captivatingly empowered retreats too, because it's something that other people would probably spend like years just trying to craft and get it to be like 1000% there, but you've been able to do it. You're like, let's go and get it out the door and learn as I go, like driving the plane as you build it, kind of thing mentality. So kudos right back at you too for getting it done. But like no one has everything together. We make compromises along the way for sure.
Oh, we have to. I mean, I would definitely prefer to sit on it for a long time and then give it out, right? Um, but then it doesn't get done or other things take priority. And
Mhm.
this event didn't go the way I wanted it to from the original plan, but here we are, we're making do. Because I wanted to make sure we had something. I mean,
Mhm.
everyone has such great messages and stories to share, and that needs to get out there. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Um, and you know what? I'm just really lucky that I have a community around me um, that supports that and is like, go girl, live your dream. We'll support it. Like. And I think that's so important. I feel like when you have the right people in your corner, it makes all the difference. I mean, you were there when I made the transition from aquatics to corporate education. Like, you held my hand through that whole process. I was like at your house all the time, like, oh my God, what do I do? Like,
Yeah, and I love that you've been able to make those big transitions too, just in your lifetime, and just how I show up for my team because I manage a team of 3 professionals, and, 2 of them are very junior, I would say, in their careers, and it's the same thing, like, we had to get out this, like, it's not a presentation, but it's like, an informative email that has, like, data and updates and whatnot, and so, the data drops on Mondays. And like it was something when I was like early on in my career, like the data technically drops Sunday nights. I would get so nervous and so antsy, and like I would have everything pulled together like Sunday night because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to send this out and like take even more time to perfect it. So it was like really stressful. So I didn't want to enforce that on like my team member that's putting that together, right? And takes hours to like fine tune it, like dig into the why, and like even write the email in a way that like has like no typos and double checking it and everything. And it got to like, just days of back and forth. And this was like Wednesday afternoon where I'm like, this could also include like these 3 other things that I'm thinking. But you could tell just like he was like just so exhausted at that point of, oh my gosh, like I don't want to be like in Excel sheets like for like another like 6 hours, like I'm done. Like he needed to clearly like go for a walk or something because he had spent like the last 2.5 consecutive days on this thing, right? And he was fine tuning it. I'm like, you know what? Like it's slowing down progress because like compared to what he put together like a month ago, there was so much good material in there and it's progress, right? Like there's these 3 things where I'm like, I wish we would have this, but he has the next couple months to add that in there and spend the proper time versus when you're just like mentally checked out and trying to put something together just to publish it. So he got it sent out, and like that's an example of where like our CEO even wrote to him and said like, great job, this looks really good. So like to everyone else, like it was already like 90% there, but like if I just kept going and pressing him and like giving feedback back and forth like to get it to perfect, like we wouldn't have got it out until like Friday, and the timeliness of an update like that was so important.
I mean, yeah, sometimes good has to be good enough. And like that is a phrase that perfectionists do not like. Um, but it's one that we have to live by because like sometimes good is good enough. Like
Mhm.
sometimes we just have to keep it moving.
Mhm.
Whether we agree with it or not, whether we think it's where it needs to be or not, like, you know, it is serious, but life's really not that serious. Like,
Mhm.
there are other things that are priority, your mental health, your physical health, like time with your family, time with your friends, time to just be you and be by yourself or have hobbies or go put your face in the sun. Like,
Yeah.
literally, I mean, we stress so much about our careers and they are important. I mean, we love our lifestyles, we love our jobs, like we worked hard to get where we are, but there's more to life than that. And I think like when we're in our 20s, it's a little harder to like sometimes grasp that. But now that we're
Mhm.
like in our 30s, we're kind of like, hey, we've made a lot of progress. We're in a really good spot. Maybe now it's time to like branch out and make sure we have friends and make
Yeah.
sure that like, we're doing things, we're traveling, we're having fun and living life because like, what else are you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
what
Motherhood
happens when
just
you
like
like stop working?
yeah, like motherhood amplifies that so much too. Cause like some days like you do great with like this work presentation or recommendation, but then like you've had no time. So dinner is like just frozen pizza, right? And like there's no shame in that. Like, yeah, like I meal prep? Like absolutely. But like toddlers have a mind of their own. Like Cody would literally just thrive off of pieces of bread over like a healthy dinner that I've spent hours like making for him because he loves like variety too. And then like other days, like your house is just a pigsty and you're like, I've got to clean and like get this shit figured out. But then like your baby hits like a new milestone, like when he just started cracking up or when he just started like running around the house everywhere. And like that's the win. So we just need to pause and celebrate the wins along the way. Like give ourselves some grace because our presence is sometimes more impactful in how we show up with like our friends, our family, our loved ones, even more so than our perfection. And sometimes like I'm honest with my boss on these kind of things too, because we've been working together for well, we've known each other for many years, and be like, yeah, I feel like I gave this project like 20%, but I know the deadline is pressing. And he's like, yeah, like your 20% is a lot of other people's like 100%. So like, don't have shame in that. Like, it's about the impact that you're driving rather than like the image and having everything be perfect. So yeah.
Oh, 100%. But it's also like that quality over quantity, right? Like, you can spend 20 minutes doing something, but if you give it your
Mm-hmm.
100% focus and you do a really good job on it,
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome compared to an hour where you kind of just half-ass it and it's like, okay, like here. And, it's that cost equivalency. Like, you know, sometimes we just have to set those boundaries for ourselves and figure out what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we'll sit there and go down the rabbit hole forever and ever and ever. And then we're like, oh my God, it's midnight.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And so, all right, Cody is 1.5, almost 1.5.
Almost. Mm-hmm.
My man. So, how has motherhood kind of changed your, I guess, I don't know, has it changed your mindset? Because, like, you still hustle. Like, you still hustle.
It forces me to like let go of a lot of things, right? And part of it's probably the mom guilt, and it goes back to like just always constantly reminding myself like it doesn't have to be perfect, but like your kids are never going to remember how perfectly like you did something. Like they just remember you like being there, right? And they're not going to remember like some expensive gift. Like they're going to remember you like going and playing on the playground with them, like those kind of things. So it's just recognizing the effort, like your love, like the examples that you're setting are so much more important in the grand scheme of things, I think. And then it forces me to balance because like otherwise I'd probably like be on my computer until like later at night. But like when it's quitting time, like it's quitting time, and then I spend time with him. And then if I need to check on a couple things in the evening, then I do. But it's not like a constant like 70-hour week thing anymore because it forces you to sign off and vice versa.
But that's good. That's healthy. Like,
Mhm.
and Cody's so cute. How could you not? Like,
Yeah. And I think
uh,
it's important to know like just letting go of certain things like doesn't mean you're lowering your standards by any means because like a lot of us especially with like being women like have high expectations, but it's just realigning your standards with what truly matters. And there's limited finite time in a day. I think as a mom like I realized that even more so than before of like yeah, I felt like I was tired and didn't have enough time in the day to do everything before. It's like no, it's like 10 times more amplified in this space. So just, understanding that it's not lowering my standards by any means. I'm just, taking it day by day is what's been important and helpful.
yeah. And that's such an important message because, like, you know, we struggle. I mean, most people struggle with that. And it's hard to set those boundaries and it's hard to acknowledge that we're worth more than whatever it is that we're struggling to sign off of or not do as much of, like that kind of
Mhm,
thing. And that can be hard because you're like your identity sometimes is like
mhm,
in that thing, whether that's work, hobby, whatever. And taking that step back doesn't change your worth and it doesn't change your identity. You just now have more to add in, which
mhm.
just is that much more fun.
Yeah. And I think it's important to ask, like, what's the worst that could happen if this isn't perfect? And sometimes you'll be surprised by how often the answer is like, nothing really happens, right? So why, not to like not go the extra mile, but like if it's 90% there, like is it good enough to just get it done because nothing bad will happen coming out of it. Because I think we create scenarios in our head of all the worst possibilities that could take place, right? When it's not actually true.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Um, so I'm sure our viewers are going to be really curious about this. So you traveled, well, we traveled with a
Yeah.
1-year-old. Um, so share a little bit about that because you travel with him a lot anyway. But like we traveled internationally with a 1-year-old.
Yeah, gosh. I don't know if I would recommend that for that little of a child, to be honest, looking back at it, but like kids, like we're adaptable, kids are adaptable, and like they thrive off of new experiences, right? Because like as much as they love routine, they also love to go and like explore new things. Like they're not going to break by just breaking like 1 week of like just their routine. Because like yeah, he has nap times, like eating times, like sleep times. We try to abide by that like as much as we can on vacation, as you saw too. But sometimes like the exploring the like new environments is exciting for them too. Like he loves going to the zoo, he loves like watching wildlife. Like those are all experiences like he doesn't get from just being in like that controlled environment.
Yeah, we say that as he slept through the entire puffin tour.
Yep. Yep. We booked the entire tour just because he loves birds and wildlife and would have been excited, and then it was his nap time. So he just
And
slept.
that boat just was
It
gentle.
was very, very calming. And honestly, so everyone went outside and it was like raining and just like yucky and cold. And everyone just had their phones like over each other and just like all over each other. And then we were just inside. We could still see the puffins. I mean, I could still see the puffin. He was sleeping. But he did see a stuffed, what's that called? Taxidermy, puffin that was
That's
on the
creepy.
inside. Yeah. But so he did see a puffin. It was just dead, not alive. So he did see a puffin.
Yeah. I went out on the deck and it was cold. It was very rainy. Yeah, hey, we survived Greenland.
Yeah, yeah.
I
And
mean,
now it's a
that
cool
was,
place we can check off, and it's the first
yeah,
country Cody has ever gone to. So, yeah.
that was fun. Wild, very wild.
Mhm,
When we
mhm.
showed up for that ice tour and you and I thought we were getting on the big boat, we were like, oh, we can do that. And we get on that tiny little
It was
taxi.
like a private tour though, so that was really good, honestly, for the
It
price that we got.
was.
Like, because there was like just it was the four of us and then like a random guy. So it's basically a private tour because the guy didn't say anything otherwise, like the
No, he just
entirety of
looked
the tour. So
mortified that he was stuck with us. He's
even
like,
better.
he's like Americans. Great.
Mhm.
But um I'll never forget that because that was just so funny that it was such a small boat. And our safety speech was if I hit my head, hit this button. And that was it.
Like,
Like
okay,
I,
great.
s- I spent the first 30 minutes quizzing our guide about safety because I was like, are we sure? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was it was fun.
yeah,
And we were very, very safe. Very, very
yeah.
safe.
We were very safe. Cody loved it. Everything worked out. We got to drink whiskey with iceberg ice, so can't complain.
Yeah, I took a screenshot the other day of my face when we were doing that because, um, yeah, it
Do you have
was
the one where
no.
Cody is reaching out for your drink?
I have that for. I'm gonna frame that one.
He's like,
But this,
"Ooh, me too." Little concerned.
I was like, that was suspicious.
But you're
I
alive,
was,
so it worked out. It's part of taking risk and trying new things, right?
yeah, getting out of my comfort zone, big
Yes.
time. That trip took me way out of my comfort zone. But I will say, by the time we were done with that trip, I was like convinced I would be able to go camping and like rough it. So we've talked a lot about, the progress over perfection, and we've talked about motherhood, we talked about traveling. Um, and, you know, so I totally lost my train of thought because my dog just farted. like loudly.
I didn't hear it, surprisingly.
But I have these in, so hopefully it wouldn't. But that
Noise
was loud.
cancellation. Wow. I will forever smell it through the screen from like the time when we were going through Christmas lights and we were in the packed car, like in line, and like she was just letting them rip. Like I will never get that like out of like my nasal like memory. Is that a thing when you just
Yes.
remember smells?
Oh my God. Because we were we didn't know what to expect. And so for context, everybody, we put Hippie, my dog, in the car with us. So it was us and our husbands, and we went down to the Indiana State Fairgrounds for this drive-through Christmas thing. And it's supposed to take an hour tops. Like it was not supposed to be. We were in line for 4 hours. Like, and Pippi just like, I don't know. We were all like, whoa, rolling down the windows. It was like cold outside, and
Rolling down the windows, like, didn't help at all in that situation either, like, it did make I firmly believe it did not make a difference at all in that given
no,
circumstance.
no, it is so funny because like I wonder if we had given her human food or something. We probably did. I don't know.
She got into something.
Yeah, 'cause that was not normal. Normally hers passed pretty quickly, which is good, but
But in that
not that
instance, it was,
day.
like, 4 hours of just, like, toxic fumes where, like yeah.
Oh my God. That was core memory right there. That was yeah. We have a lot of stories like that. That's just how we roll, apparently. Um, but yeah. So we've talked about everything at this point. Do you have any other, I guess, parting words or like pieces of advice for our viewers?
Ooh, I think to me, it's about just trust. And when I say that, it's trusting your intuition. Like, you know what is right for you. And even if you feel like something's not 100% ready, like you're ready for it. So trust your intuition, trust your people, your tribe, your community, and trust the process, even if it feels like sometimes it's broken along the way. Cause, like, for me, it was delegating more, focusing on like what impact you're driving over like image or how something looked, and then saying no to things that don't align with my growth because I used to like be more of a people pleaser and say yeah like yes to every like opportunity or everything everyone was asking me to, but now it's a no or not now, like if it's not like a not never thing. So just making sure that I'm aligning that with my growth and trusting the process to make room for possibility and things that are important to me. So I would say, you know yourself best, better than anybody. So don't let you get in the way of you being your best self. And that means taking risks, saying no to things, trusting your community, relying on your community, asking for help. I think that's one of the biggest things that people are afraid to do because, like, people don't know how to help you unless you ask for help. And people have the best intentions, like, even just out of motherhood, right? Like, people will be like, how can I help? And it's like, well, like, you know what things are going to be important to you, but unless you're like, go help me with laundry, go load the dishes, like whatever it might be, like people don't know. So I think just shamelessly asking for help is always helpful too.
Absolutely. Those are very wise words because I think everyone needs to get comfortable asking for help when they need it. You're not on an
Mhm.
island all by yourself, even when it feels like it. You've always got people around you that are ready to support.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
so friends, that's the end of our episode here. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you at the live panels.
Thanks for listening